Good morning from my extremely unfurnished, really messy apartment. Tara and I just finished moving in 2 days ago, and the goal of this week is to get more organized, start building furniture, and hopefully pick up a centerpiece of the house. Now, as I mentioned last week, for the design of this apartment, I'm on a budget. Spending money on rent is a foreign concept to me still after being on the road for all these years. And I am just really looking to be as sustainable as possible, as budget friendly as possible, and to furnish the space to feel like me instead of just going out and buying a bunch of new things that are just sterile and, I don't know, shiny. And today we're beginning that process with a desk. Now, this is my job. I'm also going back to school and hoping to expand my creative work to include even more projects this year. And so far, I've been working from my bed, this chair and windowsill, and the floor. And it's fine temporarily, but I really would love to have a good workspace so that way I can be more productive, more efficient, and to just separate the space a little bit better so that way when I'm at work, and when I'm off, I'm off. It's about a half-hour drive to the hardware store, so I'm gonna round up all the tools that I do have and that I am bringing with me, and I'll see you there. So if you're wondering how I'm about to get 10-foot pieces, 4 10-foot cedar pieces home in a Subaru, your worry would not be misplaced. The plan though is to cut it all down to size here, 1 for noise and 2 so that way I can transport it easily, and hopefully I'll also have time by this major highway to sand things down. So that way when I get back, it's just a matter of assembling. And considering how loud it is here by the side of the road, why don't we take a moment while I do this to hear a word from today's sponsor, Bluetti. All right, we're back in the apartment, obviously, not on the side of the road anymore, but I figured that this would be a better environment to tell you all a little bit more about Bluetti's new AC240. Now, if you've been around on the channel for a little while, you know that I am no stranger to Bluetti's products, and you probably aren't either. But there are some new features about the AC240 that I think are gonna blow you out of the water or dust, even if you've heard about their portable power solutions before. The all-new Bluetti AC240 features 360 degrees of protected structural and internal components and boasts an impressive IP65 rating, protecting it from dust and low-pressure water, allowing you to use your station to the fullest, no matter what the conditions are. You might remember a couple weeks back, it was absolutely dumping snow down in Colorado Springs, and I even took it outside and tested that theory with a hose. And I'm happy to report back that it worked like a charm. These features, in addition to its high power output and capacity, allow me to rest assured that I'm gonna have power no matter where the adventure takes us. Now, in the past, Bluettis have served as a primary power source for me, and obviously I now have a solid roof over my head and don't need it in quite the same way, but that doesn't mean that it's obsolete. And in fact, I think more now than ever, especially as I'm building furniture for this apartment and getting ready to build out the Subaru. Spoiler, I did buy a Subaru that you guys will get a tour over the next couple of weeks. This power station is gonna come in so handy from Lowe's parking lots to backwoods adventures this summer in Colorado. Now, unsurprisingly, as I've had great experiences in the past with Bluettis, I am absolutely blown away by not only the power output and capacity, but the portability and the ability to perform no matter what the conditions may bring. So if you are planning on getting outside on any outdoor adventures this summer, maybe you're looking for backup power for your house, or tackling some builds of furniture or a car or camper, and you live in an apartment like me where you can't run power tools all the time, head to the link down in my description down below to check out the Bluetti AC240 along with their other power station lines and use my discount for $100 off on their website through the end of the month. And thank you again to Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. All right, well, I'm officially done for now. Definitely not done with the whole project. It's 12:45 though, and I really need to get back, not only to take Tara out, but also to get my second battery, because somehow I ended up forgetting the other Milwaukee like plug-in battery at home. And that means that I could wait here for 25 minutes, or I could drive home, which is gonna take about 25 minutes while it charges in the back. So that way I can get on with my day, because this afternoon I have a date with a U-Haul and a new to me couch that I'm so excited to have, because it's officially the first piece of furniture that I will be bringing into my space. And even though I'm not building it, I think it'll still feel really good. So I'm gonna get home, I'm gonna get unpacked and start making room for our new furniture. Alright, well, there's no way I could have planned for that, but something I did not have to deal with while I was on the road and had my own independent off-grid solar power was the power going out, which I'm sure you guys just saw the lights flicker and then go off. So the power is out, I don't have internet or lights, my fridge is off, obviously, and it's gonna stay that way until who knows when. But what I can do is plug things back into the Bluetti. So I'm gonna do that so I have some lights and keep going. Alright guys, so I was just about to start mounting a mirror that you'll see on the ground probably behind me when I realized that I've never actually mounted things in plaster or in walls before, and the wall anchors that I thought I had that would work are not gonna work. Which reminded me, what the heck am I doing anyways? Why am I trying to mount a mirror right now? And I'm not. The goal of this week is to create more workable spaces between my desk area, having a place to eat my meals, and more counter space that way my kitchen is actually functional and I want to use it. That is the goal of this week. So I made myself a short list of measurements. I need to take Tara out for one more bathroom run, and then I think I'm gonna head to the store. So originally the plan was to get home in the afternoon and then continue working, but I'm not gonna lie, I got back around 8:30. Traffic in the city was so miserable because of rain and hail that we've been getting in the afternoons. And so by the time I got home, I was absolutely exhausted. And last night, all I ended up getting done was actually assembling 2 IKEA leg stand table leg bases. I don't even have words right now. That definitely was not the plan to buy those, but I realized after cutting up all the wood at Lowe's last week or earlier this week that it was going to be really difficult to achieve what I wanted to achieve with all these angles and pocket screws in an apartment. And realistically, it's very difficult for me to continue driving out to Lowe's if I'm not fully building and assembling there. So I'm definitely gonna have to figure out something different there just to get myself more time to be able to have Tara with me and to be able to actually accomplish what I need to accomplish when I'm going. All of that said though, I did get the legs. I do still have all of the tabletop pieces cut. And so this morning, it's about 7:50 right now. I'm gonna finish my coffee and I'm gonna start assembling the top portion, which will then be stained and attached to the table legs. And the hope is that by simplifying the project, I can actually finish it today, because dealing with the pile over here in the corner with my computer and electronics and notebooks and all of that is really, I think, gonna bring me some peace of mind. I don't do well in clutter, and so living in this chaotic disaster has been kind of tough for my productivity and sanity. Coming on here, is it bacon? But I make noise, you can go eat this, huh? Like this. What do you think? You in it? Got it? You're gonna drop it. All right, so now that the table is together and sanded, at least roughly sanded, there might be some spots I'll have to touch up later on as I use the desk and whatnot, but I think we're ready to start the pre-stain conditioner. I read that for fir and other woods in that like family, you really want to condition them first, because if you don't, that looks weird. If you don't, it can get super splotchy and the paint will soak up unevenly, or the sealer slash stain will soak up unevenly. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the time to do the conditioner, just put a light coat on, let that dry, and then I'm gonna start with the back, just that way I can hopefully learn from the side that I'm not really gonna be seeing unless I'm laying on the ground under my desk first. Just that way, if one of these steps does not work out, I have time to still save the sides that are going to be visible, because it's my first time doing this. Well, unsurprisingly, and as seemingly always, there's still a lot more work to be done, not only in this office space, but throughout the entire apartment. But for our first project, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why I didn't start with the bed or the dining room or like a living space, but realistically, those things can wait. I have a bed to sleep on. I can now eat at a desk properly. I have a place to sit on the couch, and having a good workspace for me is so important if I want to stay productive throughout this entire process, which I'm really trying my best to do. That said, I have such a vision for this space. Plants, shelving, maybe a big bookcase right here to keep a lot of my like books and journals and extra paper and supplies, and just really set this space up so that I'm not only productive for this channel and for work, but also for school, which is starting later this summer. I think next up is probably going to be the bedroom, and I'm just gonna establish a solid baseline in here, get a desk, get a bed frame, make Tara a little den, and start to very slowly build this space out over time. This project was really a test. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with how well the 2x4 desk came together. I think the cedar piece on the front and spread throughout makes it really interesting. I think the size for the type of work that I do, I'm not doing a lot of like paper that spreads out everywhere, is a great balance because it allows me to have a good workspace without taking up too much space. Like I can have a solid bookcase, I can put a plant here and store things on the wall, and that was exactly my vision. In fact, this went so well that I might try to replicate the design with the original legs that I cut for a little coffee table in the center, because truthfully, we don't really have a lot of space between where this desk is and where the couch lies. Let me see if I can show you a little better. I think I'm just gonna have to pan it, but there is the couch seating area.
Then we have this space and my desk. It's a really, really small spread, maybe about 8 feet. So I think having a small little table here, a rug that comes out and kind of defines that space. Maybe I'll eventually get some sort of area rug to go under my chair here, so that way I don't scuff up the floor. A bookshelf up here, and I'm actually thinking about getting like a soju screen to go between that door and the living room. Now I feel like dividing a space probably seems counterintuitive, but in segmenting this out, having everything serve a purpose and have a function, but also be very defined, my hope is that I will feel like I can go from work to relaxation. I can be hanging out with people and have a place to go back and sleep and rest. So that way when I'm cooking, I'm in the kitchen and I'm doing my thing and I'm sitting and looking out the window. And when I'm done, mealtime is over. I just feel like for myself at least, it's so helpful to have routine and to have separation of space and time for me to feel productive, for me to stay focused, and for me to be a better version of myself. Over the next couple of weeks, there's obviously going to be more furniture building, studio design, all of that good stuff. But I'm also really hoping that in the next 2 weeks maybe, Tara and I can get out on our first adventure of the summer, because it's in the 70s and 80s already here and we're definitely feeling the heat. On that note, I want to say thank you again to Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. Again, head to the link down in the description down below if you guys would like to check out the AC240 or any of their other incredible products. And I'll see you all next time.